Okay, so here's the basics to door alignment for a Humvee. As you can see, there's a horizontal slot, so this door can move this way forward aft, and then you can see on these brackets they move up and down. You can see the slot over here. So this one moves up and down, and these move forward aft. You can see a little better space here. Right here. So this is going to move up and down, forward and aft. So you're going to look for the gaps. Keep adjusting until you get your gaps. So you can see here this gap gets bigger and bigger. That's just part of the Humvee. But further down, you can see this is kind of parallel, somewhat, as it moves down. So you're trying to keep these gaps consistent from door to door as it's going around. Now, you're not going to get it perfect. It's just the way it is. So you can see here, this gap's tight. It's kind of bigger here. It's a little bigger here. And that's just the best you could do. Now, you can jog this door this way and this way just by loosening. So if you loosen this and move the door this way and leave the bottom behind, the door is going to go like this, right? That's kind of common sense. You can do this and this with these three and those three. To get it up and down, you're going to use this and this. And you got to watch that the upper hinge is sitting on the lower hinge, because it's possible to get one tight and then this one be off and have a gap. So you got to watch that the gaps are tight. Once you get that sorted out, now you still got more things to watch. You can see here, I'll try and do this with you can see that there's a gap here. So the wind is just going to whistle. See if I can do this from the inside. So you could see it's not even touching, right? It's just sitting there. So the wind's going to whistle through. So this upper part is too far out. The lower part is pretty good. So now to fix that, you put spacers. So to get this door to tilt that away, I'm exaggerating with my hand, to tilt it that away, you would add more shims here. So this has one shim. So if I wanted this top to move this away, I would add a shim here, and then it will just force it this way. So the bottom is pretty tight. So you can see here it's squished. So I have too much spacers on this one. So I have a spacer on the bottom, and what I'll do is I'll remove that spacer to get this part, lower part, to come out because it's too tight here. So I'll first do that, bring this out, and that will tip the forward, this upper part, this way. I'll do that first to see if I get it sorted out. This one here is a little better. It's got some tension, but it can be a little more. On the bottom, not too bad. On the front here, it's pretty tight. So this is pretty good. As you're cruising on the freeway, it'll be pretty tight. So you can see here, it's tight on this side. So the other thing is these doors can close pretty well. So it closes, but it's only on a first latch. And we'll see if we could do this from the inside. So you can see that it's only on the first latch. So it wants to go one more click inward, and I'll show you in a minute. So what I've got to do is get this whole catch, latch, I guess, and that's the catch. To get this catch, I've got to add a spacer right here to move this catch further out without moving the door. So I'm just creating a space so that it can latch to the second one. So as the striker comes in, I'll do it this way. It clicks one and then it's supposed to click a second. So we'll try and do this by hand. Do it this way, we better with the sun. So you'll see it clicks. Oops, I did it to 2. Try it again. That's the first click, and all these doors are latching on the first click. So I got to create a space, put a bigger spacer here, so this moves out so that it can go to the second latch. So you'll see on all of these doors, it's on the first latch. So I need to create that space. You can also look for evidence on here on the catch. It's striking on top, it's striking on the bottom. So this is well positioned. So I'll close it. It doesn't take much force and it will catch. Oops. Gotta release it. So you'll see that the gap, see this one, so this striker is riding on the top here, and there's a gap below it. So this door needs to go up just a tad, or the catch needs to go down. So I'll loosen these, move it down just a tad, so that when it comes in dead bang in the center, and right now this is too high. So when I shove this door closed, it forces the door to push up to go over it, which you don't want. You want it to go straight in the middle. This one is the same. I've got to adjust this catch a little further down so that it rides in the middle. So it hits on top, and you got to push and shove it to close, which we don't want. So I'll do that in a minute. This door is the worst. This one I have to slam pretty hard, and it hits on top here. Hits it pretty hard. So it will just hit right, it'll hit right on top here. And you can hear it. I gotta push it hard to close. Granted, it's still better than most out there, but I want to get it perfect. So you can see that this is too high, and the latch is too low. So I've got to adjust it a little higher, and this catch a little lower, and will improve. And it definitely needs to, the catch needs to come out quite a bit, and I've got to put shims in here. All of them the same. So it's a good start. So I got to loosen all 4 of these. All 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And add another spacer to this to get it to go further out. So it's just a give and take. I'll put a thin one, see how it works, and just keep trying it until I get this right. And you can see on this one, I can stick my finger here. Plenty of room. So this would whistle on the freeway. The bottom is not too bad. So I've got to tilt this door this way by adding a shim here. So this one has 2 shims, 2 skinny shims, and this one has 1 shim. and you can see it's super tight here. So this one is the opposite to the other door. This is, I guess, too tight on the front. So I can remove a shim here. This is going to be a diagonal. So this, first I'm going to sort this out. This hinge, because this hinge is going to, pardon me, this catch and latch will pull it in, and I'll see if I can fix that problem here. And one step at a time. Once I get that, then we'll see if this is high and this is low. Then I've got to play with these shims, remove one here, and if I do a diagonal, if I remove, see it's too tight here. So if I remove this shim here, this door is going to go this way, and that way that it'll sort it out over on that end. So it's a give and take. We'll play with it, and I'll be back in an hour or so. So here is the hinge that goes on the body, and you can see the slots that move it up and down. It's not going to go this way or this way. All it does is go up and down on this slot. Pretty obvious. It fits right in here. Right in here. It moves up and down this way. So these are the spacers for the locks or latch and catches that go on the door. So you can see this is a medium. There's different thicknesses. So this one's pretty thick. And there's a couple thin ones. So you can just go back and forth and find one. These are hinges. So this is just thin spacers. These come in different thicknesses, but basically this goes on the door side. This would go like that under here. So this would be to move it in and out, move this door that away by adding a spacer. So if you add a spacer here, the door is going to tilt that away. And then this top piece is going to go that away as well. Well, the upper will go down.